Brice Wen present Brice Isaiah, and we have the other half, Wendeezy Holland.
We out here. Let's go.
We are back giving you, some more exclusive Brice and Wen content, and we thought it would only be fitting to talk about our Tour 45 stop in Philadelphia. I think one, we want to get in the habit of really kind of like giving you behind the scenes of what it takes to goes into our, things that we put on. And also, I really feel like Philadelphia was a little different this time. Would you agree?
I'd agree. Yeah, we want to give you guys just a little a deeper peek behind the
Oh,
curtain. Well, Brice, relax.
what's a deeper peak?
Relax yourself over there.
Whoa, in my Wendeezy voice.
We want to give y'all. We just want to, we want to help share our story. And so, in this case, Philly was magical, and I think a lot of it had to do with us switching venues. We took a big swing with this one, and it seemed like everyone really, really loved it. So we just want to talk.
Speaking of switching venues, right? What are some of the things that we look for when we go into finding the right type of venue?
Yeah, there are some things that we need, and it's kind of led us to sports bars because obviously we're watching Survivor. We need lots of TVs, great sound, but also we're partying, we're having a good time. We always have a DJ. So like we also want it to be a bar or drinks should be served, but also really good food because people, get comfortable, grab a bite. Brice is always eating something. So needs to be large enough venue, great TVs, great sound, great food, great drinks, some DJ setup. That sound about right?
It definitely sounds about right. Sometimes it's difficult for us to find these venues that not only can accommodate our needs, but that actually listen to what we are saying. Sometimes I find Wendell and I being two Black men going into an establishment and saying, listen, we are bringing 200 plus people with us on a Wednesday. Are
Sometimes
you?
sometimes 4, sometimes
Sometimes 5.
5.
Are you going to be able to be staffed? When we get to a venue, we don't just see the venue, right? Like, when DZ has to come at it, look at it from the side and do his thing. I also have a vision as well. And so
we got to do a lot to set up. And obviously I got to see the space, and I need to kind of understand where I want to do things. Put the reality stars over here so they have a section. We don't like completely separating the reality stars, but we want them to be able to go if they need some space and come back and be with the people. We need to see where our merch is going to be, where the door people are going to be. Make sure we maximize viewership, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like all the TVs are kind of like, in front of everyone and whatnot. So we get in there. Usually we go there beforehand and make sure it's a great venue. And then the day of, usually we set up, and set up can take anywhere from an hour to 3+ hours. And we get in there and we set up and we make it perfect. In this case with Fringe Bar, we actually, and we usually do a pregame beforehand. And so before a different Philly event, we stopped at this bar, Fringe Bar, for our pregame. And
right.
we were just like, this seems like we like it. We like the space. There's a cool upstairs space. There's a DJ setup. We like it, but there aren't much TVs in here.
Right.
And so I'm talking to the owner, who happens to be a friend of mine's. He was his business partner. He's like, oh, well, we have a theater attached to the bar. I'm like, what are you talking about? So he showed us, and my goodness, it's essentially a theater. It's stadium seating. It's a giant screen. They could do plays here. They could do whatever they want here.
Comedy shows, drag shows, they could do all types of things. And when you see it, it's like so magical, like, because there's this door that is a moving door that, like, when the door is like,
what he's trying to say is the whole wall opens up.
That's what I said in the.
Brice, let me tell you, when I looked at this space, I was almost intimidated
Mm,
because we go to certain markets. At certain markets, we know in Boston it's going to be hundreds of people. Canada, hundreds of people. LA, finale, premieres in New York, etc. Hundreds of people. Philly hasn't always been our best market. It's been a slow burn in Philly, and sometimes in the smaller markets like Dayton, for example, we'll choose a smaller venue, so everyone is kind of like around each other, and everyone is right there. And in this case, it's a lot of space, but seeing once the people got in there and everything, people had space, but it was also clear that there were a lot of people in there, but everyone had their own space also. So there was something
right.
special about Fringe Bar.
I definitely, and I think when we initially did our first walkthrough and we seen the space, we were like, "Oh my God, we could do a live podcast. We could do something." But we're like, we're not there yet. Like, we are still. There are so many different kinks, but it was just interesting that that was one
Wait a minute.
of.
There what?
We had some more kinks to get out.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were talking about some freaky. I
Here
thought
you
you were
go.
talking about
Now,
your
here
extracurricular activities.
No. But we're not there yet, right? But that's something that we need to put on our board to actually again, change the format up and make it different. And so Philadelphia comes, we're doing our setup. And I think that on our tours, especially this season, we are definitely a well-oiled machine. However, we've had our friend Joey Hatch with us the majority of the tour. He had a show in DC, New York that day. And so it was just you and I. And so it was just in my heart, I'm like, oh, where's Joey? I miss it. Joey's energy. I miss his little limp walk with his socks up. I'm like, where's Joey? And so
And also his value is you can't Joey. Brice and myself have been doing these setups so much. And yes, we used to start
before they were Brice Wen.
right. And we used to start with fights. And I would be so type A about how I wanted everything. And
What's changed?
I would be yelling at people, and I
What,
don't know how to
what,
talk to people, and I'm not
what,
whatever, right? And
what's changed?
over the time, we become a well-oiled machine. We get in there, Joey will start putting the posters up, Joey will start getting the flags up, etc. I'll start working on the maybe the merch or the door people section. Brice will just be looking around. So we kind of have our thing, and Joey really helps. He's like the glue. He kind of makes sure just things go, and he understands both of our personalities. So it was different not having him.
Right, especially since we just had him all this tour. And it's sometimes they say you don't miss things until they're not there. And it's we definitely missed just having Joey there. But the the train gotta move and the show gotta go on. And so we have a relatively seamless setup. DJ Zoe from the Buddy Games is there.
True. And Zoe brought his own sound, and he was doing the sound checks. And this is our first time working with DJ Zoe.
And so I had to test him because I
You
was
know,
I didn't know what the vibe with DJ Zoe was gonna be. So as soon as I seen him, I said, "You got that ski?"
he
He
said,
said, "When you see me in the club," I said, "Oh, this is gonna be a good night." And so
and
he got this
also,
together.
Brice, we should have known, by the way, DJ Zoe, aka Anthony from Team Philly from Buddy Games. We should have known by the way he got out of his car. Can we talk about his drip?
Well, I mean, at the setup, he had on a Charlotte's Hornets vintage
Throwback.
jacket. And if anybody knows me, I do love my Sixers, but I'm a Charlotte Hornets girl. That's where my man LaMelo Ball is at. And so that's where I ride. But again, then he had on some Rugrat purple pants, or they were blue. He had on a nice little fit. I said, okay, DJ Zoe. Then when he was at the building that night, I said, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when he got out at the setup, I was like, oh, this dude's fly, and he's got all this stuff. And we're like, hey, can we help you bring in stuff? Can we help you bring in the speakers? He's like, I'm good. I got it. And he got to trek it all the way up the stairs, all the way around through the section.
Now, meanwhile, where we parked the cars, I had unlocked a secret gym because there was a door, and you could walk from the car to the door straight in.
Talk about it.
Window and Zoe, I'd be like, hey guys, the garage is here. They're like, oh no, we'll just keep walking this way. So meanwhile, I keep going in and then I run back to the door and keep beating them. But
Yeah, yeah, you weren't beating anybody,
I
but
was work
also
smarter, not harder.
you were trekking through the dirty
It
gravel
wasn't no
sand,
dirt. It
like
was a pathway.
off-roading. It was it was like
No,
off-roading, and I'm like,
no.
"How about I just take the path? I'll do that." And
He's a beaten path type of person. I'm an off-roading type of person. So you know what? It works perfect for our personalities.
so setup goes pretty smoothly. We get our signage up. The sign we brought the big Survivor sign out. We put that in a great location for photos and whatnot, and it turned out great. It was right in front of the screen, and yeah, setup went well.
Yeah, and then, for our Instagram takeover, I had met this young gentleman from Baltimore by way of Mississippi, or DC by the way of Mississippi, Tim. I met him for Survivor Philadelphia season 3. They asked us to come and just like, support. And we love to support our local things. And so mind you, I wanted to come to Survivor Philadelphia Alex asked me to be there for like 10 minutes. I end up staying 7 hours because I was so invested in the game. And so I met so many amazing people. And so I was like, oh my God, Tim would be perfect for our Brice Wen IG takeover. But little did I know how amazing and spectacular he was going to be.
But before we get into Tim, huge shout
Okay.
out to Survivor Philly.
Yes.
Like, we were part of season 1. We've watched you guys grow. We're so proud of y'all. We want to keep on helping however we can. I'm sorry I couldn't be there for season 3. Brice was there. But Survivor Philly, we are so proud of you guys. We're watching it grow, and we just want to keep on pouring into you guys. And this includes Timmy. Like, Brice, you sent me his getting ready Instagram takeover clip, and I was just like, this is it.
Right.
He's ready. He's got his little mic.
He
He's
had his
so
pumpkin in the back.
yeah, he's poised, and like he understood the assignment. And so I'm just like, Brice, green light. Like, he's perfect. And then he just kept on delivering and delivering. So yeah, we got to give Timmy his flowers, man.
Yes, he definitely raised the bar. And again, I just feel like and again, all the people that have been taking over our Instagram have been amazing. I think what is happening is that, when we were in DC, I think Sarah and Cam took over it and they raised the bar. And I think and Tim was there. And so I think that Tim saw that and Tim was like, let me put my own spin on it. But I just love the fact that we are really big on pouring into pouring into the people that support us and like really just giving them their time to shine. So again, I knew that Tim was going to be great, but I felt like he was like Dr. Phil a little bit, right? Like I felt like his questions, his commentary, had purpose, had thought, had love put into it. And it really was just turned out so special.
Yeah, Tim, thank you, Tim. If you're listening, you killed it, man. We'd love to have you back. And Brice, like you said, we look within our community, and we wanted to bring people together. We didn't know this awesome community that would come of it. And so, and like Matt Scott mentioned it in a Twitter video where he just said, like,
Had me crying.
right? He had Brice balling. I mean, I wasn't shedding no tears or nothing, but essentially he was just like, hey, go to these live events. The community and the friends that you make, they last over years, and the community comes out every time, and you can come solo. And he said that, he had social anxiety, and then he started coming. Matt Scott is a celebrity at our
Right.
I run up on him and give him hugs. So, like I was saying, we look to this community to doing cool stuff within for us. Like in Boston, we knew Solomon, aka Sollywood, for a while,
Sollywood.
just from the events. He's just a cool dude talking to everybody. Like he's talking to all of the reality people like he's,
Right.
like he's Jeff Probst,
Hey, Wendell, let me talk to you for a second. I
Yeah.
mean, I seen what you did on Ghost Island. Kudos to you, my good black man. But I'm was concerned and worried about your performance on Winners at War. Like, it's Sollywood is such a gem.
He'd be like, hey, watch me go talk to Michelle. I'll be right back. Like, okay, Solly.
or I'll be I want to say it was like at our last New York party, Sollywood is there. And I think like one of Derek Frazier's friends, Sierra, was there. And Solly was like, hey Brice, hey, what's up, Dimples 267? I'm like, how do you know Sierra? And how do you know her IG? Like
Yes.
it's
It-
crazy.
and I was just gonna say, like, and knowing Sollywood's personality, we just took a shot in the dark, and we're like, we need Solly
I ain't
to.
take no shot in the dark. I knew Sollywood was going to deliver what he was going to deliver.
Well, we knew Solly would deliver, right? So he does it. The first time, if you recall, I was like, he's got it, but we need to tweak a couple things. It was like the big names. There's a couple things. We told him that. He came back the next time and he smoked it. And then
Right.
he also handed us John Lee.
Our
John Lee,
photographer.
our photographer who travels with us, who is his imagery, it like really captures these special moments.
I mean, it's like, I want to give him so much love, but when you are working with a muse like this, I mean, it's hard not to get
Takes a lot of editing.
any good photos because this, I'm catching it here. But yet, no, Johnny Lee has been amazing. And, again, as we've been putting this little Brice Wen thing together and been working this circuit for going on 3.5 years now, like, we realized some components that we need. Then we were like, we realized at one party, like, we don't have a photographer. Wendell's taking all the phones like this. If you've seen that Wendell photo on my Instagram, and it's like, we need a photographer. Then we would find local photographers in each cities. And again, something that Wendell and I had said on the road was like, how great would it be if we could just have a photographer on our team? And long and behold, we have a photographer on our team. I keep talking about this trend about Wendell and I because it seems that during our own personal debriefings, we set goals or we say things that we're not even intentionally setting, right? Like we're just saying. And it seems that anything that we truly say, the universe has a way of delivering it. And I keep going back to this proverb that I said on the last podcast that you sent me this inspirational quote, and it's really been guiding my life ever since. When it's really now here I go.
Did you figure out the actual quote? Do we need to Google it? Are we gonna post it again?
I'm gonna give you the cliff notes, and essentially it's saying set your goals, set your dreams, but release the way in which you believe they will come to fruition, right? Because sometimes things come, but it's not how you wanted it. And you will then be mad that it didn't come the way that you wanted and not celebrate the fact that you got to where you were going. And so ever since that proverb has been shared with me, it's really been me taking a look at what we're building and stop worrying about like, this isn't how I wanted us to get there. And then realize like, well, oh my God, like it's here.
The gift might not be packaged how you intended on it being packaged, but the gift arrives,
Right.
And I think we both did a good job understanding like, oh my goodness, these gifts have been coming. And I think it's really a matter of putting it out there and speaking it out there. And of course, obviously working very hard and not settling. And, in this case, we upgraded venues. We found this venue and we took a big swing. And, Brice, when I walked in at first, I was like, oh, the venue's too big. But as people continued to come and as the vibes continued to get right, it was just like packed out, but spacious. And
it reminded me of like an art gallery, right? Like where there's like so many amazing, because I really felt like the survivor sign, the survivor screen was the art itself. And it's like, people were gathering around it. But it was so much room and it was spacious. And yeah, it was a different vibe, right? Because I walked in and I felt the same thing. I was like, ooh, I don't know. And then I looked to the left and I was like, oh my God, like it's people in front of the sign. Like it all seemed to come together. Then to have like our Philly Jones, Andrea Simpson from this season of Amazing Race, to see her there, to see her interacting with
Mhm.
Brandon Cottom, with James Jones, to see the Buddy Games people. And I'm not sure if this has ever been like maybe one of their first public events, but to see the love that they were receiving, to seeing, we had Izzy from Big Brother, her partner Paige, like, you know,
Jerry, Jared.
Jared, Derek. But again, like, and talking with Izzy's partner, like Izzy was saying, like, just so you know, or Izzy's partner Paige is like, Izzy went on Big Brother, but we're Survivor fans, right? And so it's like to see them just immerse and just, it really was just something so special. And I felt like I wasn't able to take it in because first of all, at these parties, I be sweating because I be on 1,000 because I want to I feel like I need to just make sure everything is going good, where everyone is where they need to be, when these are good, so I'm always like moving on 1,000. And although,
Are we
there
gonna
are,
talk are we gonna
there
talk
are,
about something?
yes, because we're about to get there. So Philadelphia was amazing. Now, did Wendy's and I get into an altercation? I mean, would it be a Brice Wen if Wendy's and I did not get into a
Ooh-wee.
fight?
Oh, oh, I was
But
ready to quit the whole tour at that
oh,
point.
listen, because again, I am doing nothing but minding my business and supporting my people. And Wendy's decided to be in a Wendy's mood and set me off. And I had to walk it off. Then I walked it off. When DZ came to the bar, he saw me. He said,
Hold on. Whoa, we gotta set the stage, Brice, and we can
yes.
call Nasir if we need a witness.
Oh, we can. And you're not going to coerce him
I'm not
like you did
I'm not gonna
when we were going to the after party and Nasir was in the car with us. And I'm like, Nasir's my little cousin. And a lot of but Nasir is not one of these people that's going to tell you what you want to hear. Nasir will tell you what you do not want to hear, even when you don't want to hear. So I'm like, Nasir, recant the story to Wendell so he can understand. So Nasir proceeds to tell us that one, my older brother and my cousin.
Can we start from the beginning?
I'm starting from the beginning.
The beginning is
Here you go.
I met some people in the bar
Mhm.
and I promised someone a drink because I didn't take a photo with them. This lady named Liz, and she said she wanted a Diet Coke. And I passed her 5 or 6 times. I'm like, Liz, I got you, 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 I got your Diet Coke. Finally, I get to the bar, I get a Diet Coke. I'm looking all around. I see Liz outside. I'm bringing her Diet Coke after passing her 10 times and saying I'm giving her one. So I bring it outside and I'm giving it to her and I'm letting her know that I was looking around the whole bar for her, even though I wasn't looking around the whole bar. But I was telling her this. I was like, I was looking around the whole bar for you, Liz. Here's your Diet Coke. And while I'm saying this and apologizing to her, I hear, Wendell, get over here. And I'm just like, and joking, I'm like, nah. And I'm like still apologizing to Liz with her Diet Coke. Wendell, get over here. I'm like,
I'm a wrestler now.
right. And I'm like, you know what? I will get over there, but let me finish my conversation and I'll go over there. No more than 15 seconds later, Brice gets up and storms inside. The time, it wasn't a minute, it wasn't 2 minutes. Literally, I'm like just trying to finish up my conversation to go over there. Before I could even turn, there is a cloud of smoke behind Bryce. The door swings open, knocks Liz's drink out of her hand.
Now he's lying. Now he is lying. Now he's been lying, but now he's even more lying.
I'm like, Liz, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm running after Brice. Brice. Brice is heated. Your side?
My side is that my brother and my cousin attended our party. My brother doesn't really come to a lot of things. Wendell knows, you know, the relationship. And so my brother was excited to like see Wendell and all this stuff. So we're outside and we're like, take a photo. So we're taking a photo and Wendell walks out. And my brother is like, get Wendell, like he like asked him to come into our photo. So I'm like, absolutely. So one, we're taking a photo and I'm like, Wendell. He turns, he makes eye contact, and he just walks a different direction. Now, mind you, my brother, my cousin, and Nasir, they all looking at me like, and so I'm like, okay, mind you, we have our photographer, John Lee, standing there. So we're like, oh, okay, like, you know, it's okay. He just doing something. So then someone taps Wendell and says, like, hey, Wendell, I think they want you for a photo. And Wendell does the, and at that's all it took for me to say, you know what? We don't need the photo. I was like, thank you, Johnny Lee. We're good. I proceeded to go back inside and entertain and make sure that all of our other guests had an amazing time.
The only thing that I will dispute is okay, I won't even dispute the facts, right? What I
Because the
will
facts
say
are the
is
facts.
if Brendan wanted the photo with me, if I would have heard Brendan be like, yo, when come up, I would have been like, pew, right? I think the when you said my name the first time, I that might have been when I was walking to drop the
And
and
we made eye contact,
and
and then you just
I think I heard it like vague. I think I like faintly heard my name and like looked, but I didn't see you waving or anything. So then I just proceeded to, and then the second time I heard you, I was like, oh no, okay. But also, Brice, you didn't want me in the photo because you only asked for me to get in the photo when you saw me like a real opportunist. You saw me walking outside, so you're like, oh, now I want you in the photo. When you could have very easily came inside when I was looking for this Diet Coke for a half hour. You could have came inside and be like, Wendeezy, there's a special moment. Me and my bro, I need you for the photo.
special moments just happen. And you're right. I didn't want you in the photo. I was good with the photo with my cousins. My family was the one that was like, oh, there's Wendeezy, grab him. And so that's what I'm saying. Like you act like we premeditated, like, oh, let's go outside.
The
And
way
wait.
you walked away,
Yeah,
the
because
way you walked
you
away,
played me and
the cloud of smoke.
I didn't appreciate it. However, if that didn't happen, and again, I say this story to say that. So,
Bryce is
yes,
mad at me.
the yellow smoke was in the air, and then the only thing Wendeezy could do was then get mad at me. So I'm at the bar with my good friend Sarah, and Sarah's like, "Oh, there's Wendell." Wendell walks over purposely, like stands next to me. It's like, "What's up, Sarah?" And then like just tries to ig me.
No, did I? No, we exchanged a
No,
couple
we
of
didn't.
heated
Not
words.
there. Not at that
Okay,
time
okay,
because
not there, not there.
then I walked away, and then 2 seconds later, I was like, you know what? Well, he not going to. And then I came over, and we had a 4-second conversation, and I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe here's the thing, right?
You didn't own it at that moment.
I did own it because
No, it was a fight, and then we separated, and then about 20 minutes later,
it wasn't
we
20
yeah.
minutes, but we separated. We came back. I was like, okay, maybe I overreacted. You still were wrong. And then he was like, where's your glass? I'm like, he was like, I was like, are we good? He's like, where's your glass? I'm like, why do you need to know where my glass is? He's like, cheers. We're good.
I
So
Brice,
we definitely cheers.
okay, we might have cheersed, but the first initial argument, because we didn't piece it was an argument, and then we pieced it up at some time thereafter. During that argument, I'm like, Brice, when I said no, I was joking. It was a joke. If I'm delivering a joke to you and it doesn't hit, it's not received the right way, that is my bad because it wasn't received the right way. But it was not from a malicious place. It was a joke. It was a joke. If I'm like, nah, I don't want to, like, I'm joking with you. Of course, I want to take all the photos with you. That was what I was trying to communicate.
Yeah. You know, but regardless, so we have this tussle, we make up, and then we are sitting on the side of the stage, and we are watching Survivor, and then a commercial comes on. And then
Mm.
I'm like, Wendell,
We
I
gotta
think
talk to the people.
I was like, I think we should just address the people real quick. And Wendell's like, absolutely not. And I'm like, is that you tell the story then?
No, you said we should.
Because I
And
was like,
I
because
didn't say
but
absolutely not. I was just a little hesitant.
you're like, no. And then you're like, it's dark. They're not going to be able to see us. But I was like, you're right. But there was just something in that moment where it was literally like the stage was set.
The moment called you, Brice.
The moment really did. And it's like in normal situations, first of all, it's normally me the one be like, no, we ain't gonna do that. Come on, let's go. Like, I am never really that persistent, or I respect the Windows no, or I will like work through a no, or it's like I'll come back to the table.
Yeah.
I didn't leave the table. I got on top of the table. I was like, I really think we should just go out there.
You really did, and it was the right decision. But
And
you
but
also have a partner that supports you.
so and I appreciate that. So we
I
went
didn't
out
have
there,
bullets.
pitch black. Where I'm literally talking to, I'm literally waving
Screaming.
like, can y'all see me?
Oh,
Hello, hello. My name is Brice. Thank you for coming. And it seemed like in that moment, the crowd like just they could see, they could hear. Then they turned the lights on. Then they could see us real quick. And then the commercial came back on. I mean, then the show came back on, and then we dispersed. And I felt like Wendell went running. Like he was like, give me away. So then the sound people came up to me and were like, hey, we're so sorry. We didn't realize that you guys were going to be addressing the crowd. Like, we've got mics over here. We got and so we waited, and then the show ended, and baby, like we just, I don't know where.
Wait a minute. Set it
Okay.
up. You were like, Wendell, there are mics over there. I'm like,
And you didn't believe me. You thought I was lying.
no, right? Like, I'm good. Like, we good right now.
So
I'm good.
wait, time out. Did you think I was just lying to
Yes,
just get you back
Brice.
out there so we can?
How did Mike's magically? He's like, come over here. Get over here. There are mics over here. I'm like, fine. Let's walk over to the other side of the stage and see. All of a sudden, there are mic stands and mics. He grabs this mic.
Then the person comes and goes, wait. We got the cordless ones. I say, oh, game on.
Uh,
And I don't know what happened. Like I
Brice
literally,
walks, Brice walks behind the survivor sign.
oh yeah.
I walk in front of it, and you just start talking.
And yeah, I don't know. It just felt very magical time. And yeah, but it felt so natural. It felt so right. It just felt like, and then I'm like, we got this crowd full of people. We got a sidebar of people. And I see Jared. I'm like, I call Jared up. And yeah, it really just kind of took a life of its own. And it's really one of those moments where you kind of look back and be like,
Wow. Did that
what
just happen?
did that just happen?
Yeah. Like, Brice, when we were thinking of this venue, we were like, we could do a live pod. We could do this. We could do that. And again, we didn't have the infrastructure for all of that. But all of a sudden, two mics showed up and you jumped up there. And all of a sudden, we have this full crowd in front of us. And to the left at the bar, you got standing room right there, standing room only of our like reality people and friends and fans and family. And you just start calling people up and they're just, addressing the crowd. I almost wish that whole thing was recorded because it was really like magical, awesome moments of you giving a lot of people their flowers. Pooh just got off Big Brother. Izzy just got off Big Brother. Other people were in the building,
The Philly
Russ Swan was in
Jones.
the building.
Yes, Russell Swan was
Davey
there.
pulled up and surprised us all.
Davey surprised us all. We've been saying, where is Davey this whole time? And yeah, he put up to Philadelphia. Didn't even say a word.
Who
pulled
else?
up with Brandon Cottom.
Cottom, Mariah, James, Lindsay, Carla, like the Buddy Games crew, Team Philly, that's Anthony, Erica, Mike, Lewis. Like, there, what was so great about this event was like all the shows really came together. This CBS family really came together, and it's like it's Philly and the surrounding areas and people that came in, but like I think the Philly crowd, they really, really appreciated this one.
Yeah. It was just something so special. Just everyone coming together and for it to be the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
For it to it was just like literally what they say, like the perfect storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just was just really so special. And then we had an after party, and the after party was just fun. We always kind of sort of have after parties, but my after parties be a little different. We kind of go our own ways, but we like, I don't know, we just tried to do things a little different. And it just seemed like the things that we had started 4 years ago, it seems like they are now just
Things are more polished. Things it's as if we intentionally like allowed this thing to grow the right way organically. And we tried to not let it stay stagnant. And with our debriefs, there was a time like when we were just getting this thing moving, Brice would come to my hotel room after every party at 2, 3 in the morning and just debrief and talk about how great it was and this, that, and the third. And every time we would have takeaways like, this is how we need to improve. All right, let's input a social media person. Let's do this. Let's make sure the photographer captures this. Let's make a list of shots for whatever. Let's just making better systems and ways to improve. And I think, man, I don't know, venue wise in Philly, I don't know where we go from here. Fringe Bar is it, but
I know where we go from here.
oh,
We
okay,
we
well,
uh
is it,
w-
oh,
I'm just, we put things out and but I'm saying like we're at the Fillmore. We're at the Met. I
oh,
see it.
wow, okay, that's out there. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Like I've seen huge acts. I've seen Lenny Kravitz at the Met. I've seen any. So yes, that's it. But also, I'll put something out there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe one of these times we go back to Fringe Bar and maybe we do a live pod or some iteration or
Something.
yeah. So and also another thing, I was talking to Matt Scott,
Shout out to Mascot.
our guy, our baby boy, and he said, "Hey, another way to improve." And I talked to you about this a little bit, just because we were running out during the commercials and just willy nilly doing like whatever. Having a little more structure during the commercials.
Right.
Maybe
Now,
maybe having a game, maybe having some people from the fans come play a game, maybe having certain talking whatever. So a little more structure during the commercials. And I think this can I think Fringe is our spot for now. And I can't wait to see where things go here and elsewhere.
I love it. I love the feedback from Matt Scott, even on something like that, because it's like what we intended wasn't this. We intended to just thank everybody for coming. That's what was literally the point of us just walking out there. So it's just crazy to think that, yeah.
And to piggyback on that, the feedback thing. We listen, we're open, like we actually want the feedback. So
Yes.
for Matt to feel so comfortable to just be like, yo, when next time this, and this, I'm like, that's exactly what we need to hear and we want to hear so we can make it a little better next time. So if you guys see us, if you're in the comments or whatever, let us know how we can improve these things. We're here for it. Like we are here for criticism, constructive criticism. We're here to get better.
Absolutely. And yeah, and with that being said, the only way to get better is to do better. And to do better, you got to get out there on the road and kick it off. And so we will be in the Big Easy on December 5th at Urban South, opening up for the man, the myth, the legend, Robert. And then we will be in Orlando December 9th. Oh, okay. We are hosting a reality star weekend. We have a pop-up party that Saturday, and we are bringing our guy Brandon Gomes from MTV Siesta Key. And he's gonna
And
be
we are,
DJ.
and our girl.
You gonna let me finish, or you
I,
gonna finish my
I
sentence?
apologize.
Thank you. Y'all see what I'm talking about, okay? We love the criticism, but let's finish a sentence first. And our girl from House of Chops, Aza, we are hosting a karaoke party. So if you're gonna be in the Orlando weekend area that weekend, pull on up. Because listen, the hustle, it's not a race, it's a marathon, and the marathon continues.
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you guys so much for listening to the Brice Wen debrief.
Okay.
We will have more of these because there's a lot we could do. We could
Listen.
debrief a trip to the mall. Like
we can debrief a song. Can I get to the M's? Sweet.
yeah.
I just can't believe that that's actually a really actual song, and that Jack knows it. But yeah, no, we appreciate you. But again, ultimately, we thank you, Philly. We thank you, the posse. We thank you, our supporters, for again just always uplifting us, supporting us, and yeah, just showing love, because that's what it's really all about. And we'll be back next time. Let me know. Let us know if you want to debrief from New Orleans. Oh, I'm just saying, let us know, because we could give it to you more. And before we go, this was definitely Wendell's idea to wear the same outfits that we wore in Philadelphia. So no, y'all not seeing double. That's Wendell's like, it'd be really cool if we just wear the same thing. I was like, okay.
It was not, that was not my idea. And I even came prepared. My hair was jacked up. I said, I'm gonna throw a hat on. I didn't wear a hat that day. And if Brice says something, I'm gonna say the hat was in my car and I had to throw it on at the end of the night. So
I feel like your hat was in your backpack though, so I'm gonna give you that. But listen, this has been a Brice Wen debrief. We out. See you
later.